We're not even one day into the offseason and the nonsense is already starting. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think that this upcoming offseason is going to be bonkers, especially for Los Angeles Laker fans. On the court, the Lakers were one of the biggest messes that the NBA has ever seen. If the mess was that bad in the eyes of the public, then just imagine how bad things were behind the scenes. Magic Johnson has already started his shade tour, and I don't think that it's going to be over anytime soon. Aside from the Los Angeles Lakers, the NBA is in a great space. There's a ton of parity, the league feels as open as ever, and honestly, I wouldn't have it any other way. I still have nightmares about KD joining the Golden State Warriors during the prime of his career. The Warriors were great before KD. When they got him, I really didn't have words, but a lot of people did. They thought that KD joining the Golden State Warriors was bad for the game of basketball. If they thought that KD joining Steph and one of the greatest regular season teams ever assembled was bad for the game of basketball, then I wonder how they'd feel about LeBron joining today's Warriors. Would that also be bad for the game? I just want to make this clear. This is not me in any way defending Kevin Durant's decision to go to the Golden State Warriors. This is me just genuinely being curious. Let me know in the comments below if you would hold LeBron James joining the Golden State Warriors against him. This video, we have a lot to talk about, but before we go any further, let's get a word from our sponsor. You guys know me, I love basketball. It's one of my favorite things on this planet, hands down. There's really not much better than going to see some live NBA action. The dunks, the blocks, the crossovers, I love it all. You know what I also love? Being able to find tickets at a fair price. That's where SeatGeek comes in. SeatGeek is not only the sponsor of today's video, but they're also an amazing ticketing app. Whether it's concerts, baseball, basketball, football, festivals, or more, SeatGeek puts tickets from all over the web in one place to make buying super simple. I've got the app on my phone and they're by far the easiest way to buy tickets. SeatGeek is clutch. They even let you know what type of deal you're getting when you're getting it. Now, if you guys want to be like me and get in on some live action, don't worry, I've got the hookup. Use code DCOOP for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code DCOOP. Just make sure you click the link in the description below to download the app today. I want to give a major shout out to SeatGeek for supporting our channel. On the latest episode of The Shop, Bron discussed players that he'd like to play with. To nobody's surprise, he revealed that Bronny was #1 with emphasis. His all-time list really wasn't that surprising either. Quote, obviously MJ was crazy. Kobe would have been another one, but Scottie and Penny Hardaway was like my two, because I see myself in them. Before showing love to Kobe, MJ, Scottie, and Penny, he would name a current NBA player. He would name none other than Stephen Curry.
Who else you want to play with? In today's game, Steph Curry's the one that I want to play with, for sure, in today's game.
LeBron said that he'd love to play with Steph, describing him as lethal. I think it's hilarious that there's this media storm brewing. The Lakers are a virtual wreck, and LeBron is out here saying that he'd like to play with Steph Curry. This is either genius marketing from LeBron James, who knew that people would run with this quote, or it's LeBron and Clutch just kind of doing what LeBron and Clutch do. Think about it. LeBron knows that if he says that he wants to play with Steph, that clip will easily go viral. I think that much is something that's easy to anticipate. What I don't think that LeBron anticipated were the responses from the Warriors GM and Stephen Curry. Warriors GM Bob Myers responded with, I'm not going to comment on that, but who wouldn't want to play with Steph Curry? While Steph Curry responded with this, he's picked me the last 2 All-Star games. I don't know if that suffices, but I'm good right now.
Well, we got his wish, so he's the captain. He's picked me the last 2 All-Star games, so I don't know if that suffices, but I'm good right now.
For starters, Bob Myers is right. Who wouldn't want to play with Steph? This is somebody that has a gravity so serious that teams are okay conceding dunks for KD. That isn't a joke. Teams are so scared of Steph that they routinely let other players do their thing. In this case, the other player was a Hall of Famer, and just so happens to be one of the toughest covers in basketball history. Sometimes I wish I could build a time machine. What do you guys think that KD would average in the 80s? Let me know down in the comments below. The 80s put out a very competitive brand of basketball. I actually think that the answers here are going to be very interesting. When KD got to Golden State, Steph took somewhat of a backseat to let KD do his thing and get acclimated. Steph is very unselfish. This is somebody that was a two-time MVP willing to do anything to win. As a matter of fact, he won both MVPs right before the arrival of KD. He's also a two-time scoring champ, claiming the title in 2016 and again in 2021. In 2016, it was as if nobody could check Steph. He was lighting the league on fire, averaging 30.1 points per game. In 2016-2017, with the arrival of Durant, Steph was still phenomenal, but his points per game would drop, as would his usage rate. I know that anybody would have done it, but it doesn't change the fact that the Warriors had to change the way that some things worked for KD. For better or for worse, there was a difference in the way the Warriors played basketball. When Steph was asked to elaborate on how he felt about LeBron's comments, he said this.
Arguably, MVP kind of caliber dude like he is, and one greatest of all time. Cool, like it's amazing.
Right.
We all can live in that fantasy world, though.
Does this make what Steph said any better? Let me know down in the comments below. I've seen some people say that Steph's response is as simple as him not wanting to adjust his game again, and that he just wants to remain the guy. I personally think that Steph's response is him not wanting to send the wrong message to his young core, which has shown enormous potential. If Steph or the Golden State Warriors didn't respond or entertained acquiring LeBron James, there would be a lot of speculation about that happening via trade. LeBron James is under contract for the 2021-2022 season, due over $41 million. While the possibility of LeBron joining the Warriors once his contract is over will always be there, what incentive would the media have to wait to start that speculation? I guarantee that if Steph didn't respond, we'd already be hearing about how Wiggins/Poole, Kuminga, Wiseman, and Moody would be the perfect start to a Lakers rebuild. The Warriors are currently a team with championship aspirations. They really don't need to let any of that outside noise inside a house that already has a great foundation. Call me crazy, but there are some moments where Poole flat out looks like Steph Curry. At the time that I'm making this video, Jordan Poole is one of 5 players who currently have 17 or more consecutive games with 20 plus points. In March, this guy averaged 25.4 points per game, 3.9 rebounds per game, and 4.9 assists per game. He did this on 49, 44, 90 splits. If you're trying to average a lot of points, making a lot of threes help. Last month, Poole made 67. You guys already know how I feel about Kuminga if you watched that video. Moody's already ahead of the game, and while Wiseman's injury sucks, if he can get healthy, I know he's going to be a problem. This past offseason, there was a ton of noise about the Warriors trading some of their young pieces to fully enter win now mode. There was a lot of speculation about Ben Simmons and Bradley Beal. A while ago, Draymond even commented on the Bradley Beal situation, saying that bringing back draft picks doesn't help a guy like Bradley Beal, who's already 10 years deep in his career. He said getting draft picks and placing them next to 2 All-Stars, that don't work. I really feel like you can tell that Draymond and LeBron are boys from this quote alone. At one point, the reports got so dense that there was a report that stated Steph, Draymond, and Klay have made it clear to management that they want the franchise to focus on the pursuit of a championship, even to consider using their lottery picks to get somebody who can help immediately. The Warriors owner would eventually shut all of that down, saying, "We like having 3 lottery picks to develop while we got our guys still playing at a high level." I think it's a really nice position to be in. Warriors fans, would you mortgage the future for LeBron if it meant a guaranteed championship? If you don't want to trade for him, how would you feel about potentially drafting Bronny and signing him for cheap in free agency? LeBron James is currently 37 years old and among the league leaders for points per game at 30.3 on great efficiency. Don't forget that he's also one of the most unique passers that the game has ever seen. I don't know how practical that getting LeBron is for Golden State, but at worst, I do think that it'd be interesting to see him play alongside Steph and Curry. If nobody else would love that, I know that Draymond would. This is somebody that said he'd miss a Warriors game to go watch Bron break a record. The funny thing about this whole thing is that I really do think that LeBron was just showing love to Steph. Let me know what you guys think about everything down in the comments below. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm Getlikecoop bringing you guys the scoop. Until our next upload.